This video is sponsored by Skillshare. Hi, I'm Jo, and this little ball of fluff here is Skylar. So this is the first episode of our new series called Tool Time, which is where we're going to go over all the tools that I have here in the workshop, where to get them, how to use them, and how to maintain them. So the question that I get asked the most in my videos is, what knife do you use, or where can I get a knife like yours? So where better than to kick this series off than with all the information you'll need about the single head knife. Let's get started. So I have always used a single head knife for my leather work. Now it is more of a saddlery knife, which is why I think I get asked about it so often, because it doesn't commonly get used for leather craft. So I have used a variety of different head knives over the almost 13 years that I have been doing leather work. So the first two that I used were from a company called Joseph Dixon's, who have unfortunately gone out of business, so we can no longer get them. The main one that you'll see on my videos and sort of that I use for all of my leather work is one that I got custom made by my friend Dennis. Now unfortunately he is no longer able to make them, but we can get a really good knife, and it's actually really good value for money as well, from a company called George Barnsley & Sons, and you can also buy it direct from Abbey, England, and there will be links in the description for both of those. So I have 4 of these George Barnsley single head knives here in the workshop for use on my courses. Now they do have a bigger handle than what my other 2 knives have, so if you have small hands to start with, they could be a bit awkward, but if you keep using it and keep sort of at it, you're gonna find it a really good knife to have in your toolkit. Now unless you get yourself a custom made knife, it is likely that the blade that you'll receive will be quite rough and will need some work before we can get using it for our leather work. So if we have a look at these 2 blades here, you can see this new one is pretty rough when compared with the one that I have already shaped and sharpened. So we're going to take a look at the steps that I use to get my knife from this state where it's really rough and can't cut anything to being super sharp and ready to use on your leather work. So to start with, we're going to do some shaping. Now I like to do that on an oil stone. So we're going to get our oil stone so the fine side is facing us, and we're going to pop some oil on here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to hold our knife at a slight angle so we can keep the profile of the blade the same, and we're going to use a circular motion to try and get that edge sort of nice and smooth. And we're going to work both sides of the blade. So if it helps you, you can actually put some marker pen on the edge of the blade. Now what this is going to do is, as you are working it on the oil stone, it's going to show you where you are and where you aren't sharpening the blade. So that will make sure that you do work the whole of the cutting surface and you'll get it nice and even. So now we have done our shaping on the oil stone, we're going to start to refine the edge of our blade. So I like to use either wet and dry paper or some diamond polishing plates for this. And we're going to work our way down through the grits to a really fine 1000 grit so we can start our polishing. So we'll be using a slightly different technique here. What we're going to do is we're actually going to sweep the blade along the sharpening surface. We want to make sure we don't flick the knife at the end of each sweep, because that can change the shape of the cutting edge. Now if you need to, you can also put your marker pen on your blade here to make sure you're working the whole of the edge of your blade. So now we have worked our way through the wet and dry paper, we can now start to do our final polishing. So I like to do my final polishing on my strop board. And so on here I have suede on one side, and on the other side I have suede with a tallow and carborundum powder mixed to it. Now there'll be links for both of those in the description below, or if you prefer you can use a different polishing compound or a jeweler's rouge. It's just what you feel comfortable with. So we will be using the same rectangular motion as we did in the last step, and we'll be working both sides of our blade. And again, if you need to, you can use some marker pen on the edge of your blade to make sure you are working the whole of the blade and not just parts of it. So to keep your head knife maintained, you're going to want to strop it daily. Now, if you're doing a lot of work with your knife for that day, I suggest you strop it a few times during the day to make sure you keep that nice sharp edge. Now, if you do for whatever reason happen to get a nick in the blade, you're going to have to sort of work your way back through the steps. If it's quite a big dink in the blade, then we're going to have to sort of use that oil stone and just work it in the circular motion to get rid of the dink, and then work your way down through the grits of the wet and dry paper and then onto the strop. If it's just a small dink and you think that you can get it out by just using the wet and dry paper, then just do that step and work your way down through the grits and then finish with your final polish on your strop board. So I want to take a minute to talk about our sponsors of this video, Skillshare. So what is Skillshare, I hear you ask? Well, Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for you to choose from. There are classes in photography, web design and illustration, to name a few. So if you are ready to launch your new leather crafts business into the world with a slick new website that you've built, a logo you have created yourself, and some awesome product photos to show off your leatherwork in all its glory, then there is a class for you. So if you are ready to take the plunge and start selling your leatherwork, a class that I think you will enjoy and learn a lot from is Building an Etsy Shop That Sells: Strategies for E-Commerce Success by Parker Gard. In this 40-minute class, you're going to learn how to find your target customer, how to create a brand that stands out, how to ensure the right people are discovering your shop, and much more. Skillshare is made specifically for learning, meaning that there are no ads and they are always launching new premium classes. So you will get all of that at less than $10 a month with an annual subscription. So best of all, Skillshare are offering the first 1,000 people to click the link in the description a free trial of premium membership. So the beauty of the single head knife, at least for me, is just how versatile it is. Not only can you cut, but you can also skive with it. So what we're going to go over now is the different techniques that I use to get the most out of my head knife. So the first technique is just a straight cut across a strap of leather. So all we're going to do is simply roll the blade across that line that we have across our strap, and it should easily cut through this. So the second technique that I'm going to show you is how to cut an egg point. Now you will see that I use this technique a lot on my products, mostly my belts and my dog collars, and I use this technique all of the time. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to put the edge of our blade into the edge of a wooden block. This is going to keep the knife secure, and it's also not going to damage that cutting edge. So we're going to lock that in place with our wrist and our arm, and we're actually going to move our leather around the blade. Now this is going to give us the best and most smoothly rounded point that we can cut. So if you are cutting longer pieces of leatherwork and you have some smooth sort of sweeping edges on it, then what I like to do is to plant the knife into the wooden block once again, and then we're going to move the leather around the knife. So this technique doesn't work well for sharp corners, but it does work well for smooth sweeping lines and straight lines over a long area. So the fourth method that we can use this knife for is for skiving. So you will see for the majority of the skiving that I do actually use my single head knife rather than a skiving knife. And that is just because I am more used to using this knife over the other options that I have here in the workshop. So what we're going to do is we're going to have our knife on its side and we're going to carefully hold it at an angle and then slowly skive the edge of whatever it is we're cutting. Now you can do this in one swoop or you can do it in a couple depending on how confident you are. So that is it for this episode of Tool Time. I hope you enjoyed the video and I have left links to everything that I have talked about in the description below. So thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please click the thumbs up button and subscribe for more videos and tutorials, and I shall see you in the next video.